The meeting of the Trumbull Nature Commission is called to order at 7:35. We can say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to open up the forum for public comments if we have any. We don't have any public comments. We do not have quorum, so we will hold off on approving our minutes for our September meeting. I'd like to dive into our agenda items, which include the director's report. Cheryl, do you want to summarize the three big topics, not including ARPA or the state capital funding?
Not including the
some of the new programs that you have coming up.
Yeah, in my report I have a combination of programs that ran and programs that are upcoming. Well, we have the Lighthouse kids from Bridgeport are coming in July and August. We have 13 visitors, 13 days that they're coming. That's scholarship paid. We're planning for the fall. I didn't include there, but we just finished up a 6-week Little Green Thumb program that's finishing up this week. Very successful Intro to Archery program with about 40 kids. The Firefly Roundup with about 40 participants there. The Trumbull Sources One mural is still at the library. They just told me they're going to keep it there all summer, and also we're going to keep it there through the summer at TNAC. That got a lot of good publicity in the Connecticut Post on the front cover, so that was nice. Yeah, Tinker Garden was successful. They ran every Friday for through May and June for about 8 weeks, so that was good. They'll be coming back in the fall. Yeah, community, we were at their Make-A-Wish Walk for Wishes program. We're going to be at Trumbull Day on Saturday. If it rains, it'll be Sunday. Yeah, and we're now a member of the Bridgeport Youth Engagement Collaborative. So we're going to be working with other nonprofits to address the needs of teens to support positive behaviors. We're working on the programming for that will involve environmental STEM education.
Is that through Lighthouse? How did you
No, it's not through Lighthouse. It's through an initiative of Senator Moore. She's been a great supporter of us and likes what we do. And she's like, I think I can get you with have you work with these other groups. There's a lot of other new groups in this collaborative. And we're going to work with them directly. But yeah, no, it's an initiative of Senator Moore. And we're moving forward. We're going to be meeting with them, hopefully, once a month or so. We'll see what happens. And yeah, try to make a positive impact. Yeah, do you want to know the names of the other organizations? Let's see. They are just a few of them. The Bridgeport Arts and Cultural Council, Elevate Bridgeport, Bridgeport Youth Lacrosse, Sisters at the Shore, the Green Village Initiative, Bridgeport Prospers, Buddy Jordan Foundation, Cook and Grow Inc. That's just some of them.
That's great. Hey,
Yeah.
Cheryl, I'm cutting you off. Olia just signed on.
Okay.
Barb, can you please take note that Olia has arrived? And now at 7:40, we have quorum.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, see, okay. What?
I'm in a town meeting right now. Sorry.
So we just reviewed some of the programs that TNAC has run and the other cultural initiatives that they have joined throughout Trumbull and Bridgeport. I do want to move on with the agenda items because we have two very important ones. And at the rear of our meeting, we can go back to either to approve the minutes. Does that work for you, Barb? Great. The second agenda item is the ARPA funding. ARPA funding is funds that come from the federal government that have been allocated through the state, and the state then puts the gives the permissions to every town to spend that money on infrastructure needs. And my understanding is that it's very intrinsically tied to the how we experience the pandemic. And so, but it really is capital funds to help improve infrastructure. We have, as a Nature Commission, an opportunity to help advocate for the Trumbull Nature and Art Center and their facility that is town owned, to just make those improvements that we've been, gearing up to do. Longstanding on our list of things to improve are the handicap ramp going into the building, fixing the flashing on the rear roof, and working on the retaining wall going into the basement area. And I just want to kick it over to Cheryl because the town has been encouraged by Vicki Tesoro to send commissioners in support of that ARPA funding. Cheryl, do you want to?
Yeah, she didn't say to directly communicate with the commissioners. She said there'll be meetings of the town council and of the Board of Finance, and that at those meetings we should advocate on our behalf. Yeah. So.
And this relates back to those emails that were sent to George Estrada and key members of Vicki's office, communicating that we do have these longstanding needs the town needs to address on that property.
Right.
Again, I'm relating back to the ramp and the flashing and the retaining wall.
Yeah, it was actually more than the flashing is what they included in so there's a PDF that the town made. The last I heard it wasn't final, but in that PDF, the presentation, it has all of the town of Trumbull's departments have their wish lists. And in the report that I have here, Kathleen McGannon emailed me, and when I asked are we included, and we are now included in there. And she said it's improvements to the Trumbull Nature and Art Center include ADA access, which is the ramp, ensuring visitor safety and confidence, building structural improvements, including complete roof replacement, access door replacements, overhead door replacement, which I think that's the doors in the garage, and removal of retaining wall and regrading, $75,000. And those numbers were estimated, I guess, by George Estrada. So that's how that came about.
Last we spoke, Cheryl, the meeting date has not been selected.
No, and I have not heard anything different.
I will be in touch with the commission once that date is selected, but it would be really nice to have a good showing of commissioners in support of TNAC and in support of those projects being completed. Cheryl, Kevin, and I had the opportunity to meet with Vicki and George and Rena to discuss possibly joining the Trumbull Capital 5-year plan. In order to receive state bonding funds, we need to be included into the 5-year plan. And we do have state support for that right now. And Cheryl has communicated to me from direction of the patrons that she would like the commission to write a letter to that effect, basically asking for our inclusion into that 5-year plan. And it would be a letter of intent and an ask of the formal steps on the formal next steps. Is that Cheryl and Kevin? Do you want to?
I'm not certain of this, how the process works, so I'll defer to Cheryl. Probably might know a little better, or someone else might know better.
It was unclear to us. It just says she was vague about it and said that we need to include the capital plan. So I think it behooves us to find out what the actual required process is to get included in that plan.
So during that meeting, she did make it very clear that the first step would be a formal letter requesting
Okay.
requesting inclusion.
Okay.
And in that letter, we can ask what those next steps are.
Okay.
I am willing to write that letter, but Karen and Olia, would you be willing to edit it and to take more time into that?
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, just send it over. Whatever. Great.
That would be really nice. And then also, we did have when we did meet, we did include Jack, who has been on the commission for many years. I think we all started at the same time. Yeah, I think so. So he'd been following this process a little bit more. In the future, we might need Olia or Karen, one of you, to come into that, so that you can also learn along the process, along with me and Jack. Is that something that the two of you could?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Be great. This is going to be a learning process for all. It's going to be great. So our action items will be to identify the July finance/town council meeting, and to make sure that there is representation supporting TNAC. And then to write a letter of intent to Vicky and Rena to be to find out the next steps for the capital 5-year plan.
I don't know if we go to Rena or not. I don't think she can make that determination. So I don't think it would be Rena. I think it would be Vicky, perhaps George, because he's the head of that department.
Yeah, I think people have mentioned George's 5-year capital plan, so it's certainly under his department, Public Works.
Okay, very good. Great. Moving backwards to our minutes. Olia and Karen, you're up. How do you feel about the minutes? Do you have any corrections, additions?
No,
No
that's good.
corrections. I would move to accept the minutes as they are.
I'll second that.
Great, so Olia moves, Karen accepts.
Okay,
I did see, I looked up the schedule for the finance board, and it says Thursday, July 14th.
Yeah, we need that. Great. Thank you, Karen. We don't know, we have to make sure we know what their agendas are, because they may not be discussing ARPA funds in July. We don't know. Vicky said that, but that we don't know if is coming to pass. So we should look at the agenda, but the agenda could be like later on. So, but BOF 714. Okay.
Thank you, Karen. All right. Is there any new business beyond funding? Can I have a movement to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I second.
All right, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Right.